Welcome if this your first time on the channel. Today we listening to Trae Young and Patrick Beverley go back and forth, but the problem is Trae Young never addressed what Patrick Beverley initially said. And then we gonna listen to Stephen A. Smith talk about Larry Bird saying the exact same thing as Patrick Beverley. Make sure you subscribe if this your first time here. Click that like button. That's how they push the video. Let's go.
Hoop Herald goes, honest question. Why do NBA players play so hard in random open gyms in the summer but give no effort in the All-Star game with millions watching? My response is because All-Stars take the game for granted. It's not one All-Star on a basketball court. It's just good, naturally good bump. Trae Young's response was,
he said, relax, let us speak for ourselves. Interesting.
I don't know. I don't think he's in a position to speak. I don't think he's won enough to even speak to me like that or tweet me like that. He's been to the playoffs 3 times. I've been to the playoffs 9.
9 is more than 3.
He's been in the NBA 7 years. My first 7 years, I didn't miss the playoffs at all.
Interesting.
In the Western Conference.
Interesting.
Okay.
Right? His rebuttal is probably going to be, yeah, you want the main player on the team. You're absolutely right. But this is why it's a team. I've talked to people who played in Atlanta. They don't want to play there.
Why?
They don't think he's a good leader. They don't think he's a good teammate. This is not coming from me. This is coming from over here. Trae, you can score all the points you want. You can make all the money you want. You can have all the leading assists you want. You can do all that. If you don't win, that's matter. If you don't win, when you're retired, they're going to forget your name fast, too.
Yeah,
I don't even think he has the wiggle room to talk about not playing hard for an All-Star game. You're not like you're playing in the playoffs.
So what do you think his point is?
I don't know. I think
he's trying to put himself above you?
I think so. Like, let us speak. Like, what do you mean? Okay, well, let the play in the playoffs more than 9 years speak to then before you speak.
So I liked his response. He went directly at Trae Young, which Trae Young hopped into Patrick Beverley saying what he said. It's not like Patrick Beverley went out his way to go at Trae Young. He answered the question honestly. That's all he did. And then Trae Young responded to him. So he responded to Trae Young. Now we gonna listen to Trae Young's response back. And everybody's getting caught up on Patrick Beverley versus Trae Young. We know Trae Young is a better basketball player than Patrick Beverley. That ain't what this about. The initial question was about the All-Star game and how they give no effort. But let's listen to Trae Young and his response.
You said it. You went to the playoffs 9 times. I've only been to the playoffs 3. You're right. You have 6 more playoff appearances than me. Let's bring up some more facts. You've been to 1 conference finals. I've been to 1 conference finals. What year was that for you? Just another fact. Year 9. The year I made it was year 3. Just a fact. You want to know another one? You averaged 7 points and 2 is. I don't even know how I'm doing this. Like I'm really not even here to talk about my numbers, but here they are. Let's get into some more facts, actually. You talk about a winner. What have you won? Tell me, what have you won? And don't respond with that, like, sympathy. I won in life, I won in basketball, because you did, man. You made it to the NBA. There's very many people that can say that. But at the same time, bro, it's levels to this shit. It's just different timetables. I get it. You're a little bit later into your career. I was 19, about to be 20, going into my rookie season. Do you want to know your age going into your rookie season? You were 24, your first year in the NBA. So you're talking about uncomfortable. Man, you don't know what uncomfortable is. You talk about winning and impact winning and all these things. You've been on some teams with some big-time players. How about I go through a list of these guys? LeBron, Giannis, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Ant-Man, Cat. And we're not even going to talk about how we celebrate play-in wins.
He ended with the celebration for the play-in win that Patrick Beverley did. Now, he broke down a lot of stats. He proved, I'm a better individual player than Patrick Beverley. But what he did not address is the truth. These guys don't put effort in the All-Star game. Something that's been around for decades. And we got to watch all the greats. But they are dropping the ball. I got a question for you if you're watching this video. what is the All-Star game format for this next year coming up? That's a question I got for you. Please put it in the comments. If you know, put it in the comments. Because last year they did some goofy stuff. And from what I'm hearing, they changed it again and they still doing some goofy stuff. The best year was the year I believe Kobe passed away. Whatever year Kawhi Leonard got the first Kobe Bryant All-Star Award, that was the best year. But let's listen to Stephen A. Smith talk about another player that spoke to them about giving effort in the All-Star game. Because that's what this is really about. Everybody trying to focus on Pat Beverly and Trae Young. Like, oh, Pat Beverly can't talk to Trae Young. Well, my question for you, who can? Let's listen to Stephen A. Smith first.
One or two guys that have the right attitude about this, that is a superstar, changes everything. Remember what happened last year. In last year's All-Star game, Dr. J and Larry Bird, you heard the story just like I did, Wilbur, and they made sure we know. Dr. J and Larry Bird walked into the locker room and talked to the players. And they talked to the players, and the NBA thought, yes, the players are really, really listening. They're really, really getting it. And then one of the superstars, who will remain nameless, but everybody can surmise who that was, gave a side eye to those guys while they were talking. And then the players went out there and let 400 points be scored. And the league ain't letting that go. And so what happens is it just shows you, if one player can have that kind of an impact negatively, they can also have that kind of impact positively.
Facts. And that's the point of this whole back and forth. Pat Beverly did not come for Trae Young. Trae Young just came out and started going at Pat Beverly. Now it's between them two. When the whole point of this is because the All-Stars ain't playing. And my thing is, I get it. Chief Mac, you only was in the military. It's honorable, but you didn't go to the NBA. I get it. People say that in the comments to me. You didn't play in the NBA. All right. Patrick Beverly did. He's not good enough to say nothing? Okay. Because he wasn't an all-star. He didn't carry the league. He didn't win championships. All right. Cool. Is Larry Bird not good enough? Who can say something to y'all? Not one of the greatest players ever? A guy who carried the NBA? He can't say nothing to you? Oscar Robertson can't say nothing to you? I asked my grandfather, who was the greatest player ever? He said Michael Jordan and then Oscar Robertson. I said, really? Oscar Robertson? He said, yes. I said, all right, cool. It let me know what the older generation thought. He didn't say Wilt Chamberlain. He didn't say Kareem. He said Oscar Robertson. I said, all right, cool. But they can't say nothing to them. So my thing is, who can criticize them and say something? Nobody? Because that's what it's about. Y'all are losing the integrity of the NBA in more ways than one. From the skill set, the traveling, all of this stuff, all the way to just putting out effort in the All-Star game early in the season. Them games don't even be competitive early. It's like, what are we doing? Play ball. We want to see y'all play the entire year. We want to see y'all put an effort in All-Star. They not even selling out the stadiums because how people look at the NBA right now. You got two guys, Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant, young guys around the same level as Trae Young. You would think they would sell out a stadium. I went to watch them in Memphis last year. It was a game that had playoff implications on the line. I go in the stadium, I'm looking around, I'm like, okay, maybe come third quarter, it'll be a packed house. No, it never got packed. It was like 70% packed. Ja Morant and Ant Edwards, two young stars, can't sell out the NBA because the integrity of the game is being lost. That is the problem. You could put it on the main faces, which they should share some of the load, but it's mainly Adam Silver. He is doing a bad job at that specifically, maintaining the integrity of the game of basketball. But let's listen to Patrick Beverly because he responded one last time, and his sentiment is exactly what I'm saying. To the T.
Who the f said you can't be criticized? Like, you haven't done anything.
Right.
So until you've done something, yes, you have to be criticized. And you should appreciate it because the criticism isn't coming from a player who hasn't played. It's coming from somebody who's shared the floor with you.
Right.
Left a mark in the NBA. Right?
Right.
So, like, miss me with all that. Like, I'm with you. You're the fastest person to 12,000 points, and you're the fastest person to 4,000 assists. And you get scored on the most in the NBA. Empty stats, we call it.
Thanks. But he's just saying, yo, why can't I criticize you? Because for the longest, they looked at the guys on ESPN, the Stephen A. Smiths and all of these guys said, man, you ain't even playing the game. Okay, all right. So the guys that actually played the game, they can't say nothing either? This stuff is crazy, and that's what this is truly about. We get it. Trae Young is better on offensive end than Patrick Beverly. Pat Beverly is better on defense than Trae Young. Because when he said, yo, you get scored on a lot, Trae Young be getting picked on to the utmost degree. So, you know, they both contribute to a team in different ways. I would say Trae Young is the better player. All right, we know that. But it ain't about that. It's about the all-star game and them putting in effort. Remember the original question Pat Bev got. Why do these dudes play harder at LA Fitness than they do in an all-star game? That's what this is truly about. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts about this down in the comments. As always, if this your first time here, make sure you sub to the channel. Check out the other content. Click that like button. That's how they push the video. And as always, y'all be easy, be safe,